You know what I've learned in life is that rarely is the right thing at the extreme ends of something. The extremes don't have the truth. What is right does not live near the extreme. What is right usually lives closer to the middle, maybe not exactly in the middle. But if you're ever caught between, I guide my life this way, traders. If you're ever caught between these two dueling ideas, these two dueling thoughts, and they're dual opposites of each other, I promise you, you'll be well off choosing something that's closer to the middle. You know? And you take this scenario of total lockdown or total freedom, just go out there and do whatever you want to do. Those are two dueling extremes. Neither one of them is correct. There's got to be something a little closer to the middle. I guide my life this way. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? Does this make sense to you? And so if you look at any of the news channels or whatever, all it is a bunch of people, a bunch of news outlets on one extreme, another bunch of news outlets on another extreme. You look at the political parties, one political party on this extreme, another political party on the other extreme. But reason, the truth, is usually somewhere closer to the middle of all of that nonsense. And whether that comes to trading, politics, life, my kids, I use this prevailing principle throughout every corner of my life. The truth is in the middle of it. If I'm ever confused, I remind myself the truth is in the middle of it. In business negotiations, there's one side that wants a little too much. The other side wants a little too much too. Where is their agreement? Somewhere, maybe not exactly the middle, but somewhere closer to the middle. You will never go wrong in life. Choosing something, deciding something in the middle of two extremes. Let's take losses in your trading. You can have losses too big. Most traders who are untrained have losses too big. Absolutely. That's one of their major downfalls. Their losses are too big. Their profits are too small. That's the recipe for financial disaster. And that's the existence of the vast majority of people out there. They lose too big because when they're in losing territory, they hope. They win too little because when they're in positive territory, finally they fear that the positivity is going to disappear, so they snatch it. And this is the trap that millions and millions of untrained traders find themselves in. They lose too big and they win too small. But the trained trader, the one who gets a little knowledge under his belt and understands that the losses have to be brought under control, can and often does. The trained trader often does go too far on the other extreme, keeping their losses so tight that they're now in a straitjacket. That every little tiny movement in their trade knocks them out of the trade, only for the trade to then go in their desired direction, and they're kicking themselves all day long for missing the opportunities. You can take everything to the extreme and it's not the truth. You can lose too big, that the truth is not there. You can lose too little in your trading, the truth is not there either. The truth is in the middle, my friends, of everything. Again, maybe not exactly in the middle, but somewhere closer to it. So whenever you find yourselves in a dilemma, whenever you find yourselves stuck in an argument, in a fight, get somewhere in the middle and you'll find your answer. Do you understand this, traders? This is not just about trading knowledge. We talk about life because trading is a microcosmic version of life, is it not? Aren't the very same characteristics that make you a good trader oftentimes are the same characteristics that make you a good business person, a good father, a good person in general? Knowing how to trade will translate into knowing how to live. The lessons you learn in trading are life lessons, traders. When do you cut a non-performing trade? When is it time to eliminate it from your life? Isn't the ability to know that the same ability to know when do I cut a toxic friendship out of my life? When has this relationship, this friendship, gone to the place where it is now toxic and destructive? And if I don't cut it out of my life, it will ruin my life. Isn't it the same thing? Don't you want to end on top? To retire at the pinnacle of your career? You don't want to have fallen all the way back from your best days and then retire. I want to retire on top. I want to finish on top. Isn't that a profit-taking skill? You're in a trade that is moving up. Isn't the goal to do your best to exit at or near the top, not to fall all the way back to exit? Knowing when to end a beautiful game is a life skill, not just a trading skill. Knowing when to cut something out of your life is a life skill, not just a trading skill. Knowing when to double down and add to something that's good and positive is not just a trading skill, that's a life skill. When do I double down on this? When do I limit my losses? When do I admit failure and just move on? These are not just trading skills. When do I admit failure and move on? That's your stop, but you have stops in life too. The problem that many of us have in our lives is that we don't apply trading wisdom to our life. Choosing the right stock, isn't that choosing the right wife or husband or friend? Obeying your rules, isn't that the same as being a law-abiding citizen or obeying the commandments of your personal God? If you can't obey your own trading rules, and they're your rules, no one else's, you created them. If you can't obey your own self-created rules, how can you obey the rules of another? trading is life. Learn how to trade, and you'll actually become better at living your life.